Just go watch One Tree Hill, for God's sake.
What are we waiting for? All we have is now. Don't run from this.
Hello, friends, and welcome back to Red X, your source for the freshest daily cringe content anywhere on the internet. Promise swearsies it's just a fact, and it's totally science. Go ahead and look it up. Today we're diving into r/Legbeard Stories. Yes, indeed. It actually comes from my personal subreddit r/RedXReads, but don't sweat where it came from. Just be excited that we have another Legbeard saga to dive into, or at least what I think will be a saga. This is a prologue. It says right in the front that OP knew this beard for over 7 years, so hopefully this OP doesn't just ghost us after a few parts. You might notice my background. This is my lab. I decided to show you guys around. Darkly Studios is working on like background animations now. He decided to whip one up for me, drop it in them Twitter DMs. I'm super excited to have it. I still need to figure out how to implement it. I mean, the intro works pretty good, but I also like the stock footage too, so maybe you guys can let me know what you prefer. That's Casino Beard floating in the back over there. He thought he got away with assaulting the OP, but nah. Red X Industries went to pick him up. He's got a new home. Anyways, I hope you guys dig that, and I hope that you guys will dig this story. So let's go ahead and get some plugs and disclaimers out of the way, and then we will dive right into some Legbeard Stories cringe. The Many Exploits of Unfortunookie. The prologue. Did it all for the Nookie. Oh boy. All right, so the story that I'm about to tell is about someone that I knew personally, and I was friends with for 7 long and torturous years, during which she did and said things that I don't think that anyone would believe. I mean, I wouldn't believe it if I hadn't been there for a lot of it. This all took place about 10 years ago, so some of the details may have been lost to the forgiving hand of time. I'm not sure if this counts as a Legbeard, weeb, or maybe a nice girl story. Let me know if this isn't the place, okay? We will judge them properly. All I read was the character description to make sure that it was actually a woman. And yeah, I do think that it sounds like a Legbeard to me. As far as wild events and whatnot, man, that's kind of what this whole channel's about. Some people might not believe it, and I say, good. I'm glad life has been so kind to you. Now, this has the potential to be a really long-running series. If people are interested, we shall see. I am interested. We need a Legbeard series. Oh, Legbeard of my nightmares is over. Stealthbeard is just ghosted. I need it. Come on, deliver, OP. I'd appreciate it. Anyways, trigger warnings. There will be mentions of abuse, violence, rape, child pornography, abortion, and suicide. Jesus, that is a heavy list of trigger warnings. But I do appreciate you being upfront about it. Let's be brave. And, alright, let's get into the cast. Unfortunookie, our specimen. The name would make more sense if I write more stories. This is a nickname that another friend of mine gave her after explaining the things that she's done throughout the years. It's a twist on Supernatural's Dean, watching some smut called Fortunookie. With Unfortunookie, everyone who was intimate with her seemed to be worse off. So yeah, Unfortunookie. She happened to choose virgins, and always push her virgin boyfriends into sex. Super weeb, wears ill-fitting skirts and anime shirts and gothic Lolita dresses, and gives people panty flashes that nobody wants to see. Ugh. Bit chubby at the time, wispy, curly hair that often looks unwashed, thick glasses, dry, pale, bad skin, crooked teeth, and halitosis that makes you think of tadpoles breeding or a skunk squirting. The brave men who were willing to kiss her. Rip. Didn't care much for brushing teeth or deodorant. Constantly wears a frown on her face. Often found drawing in corners of the high school. Broke the silence with screams a lot. Attention vampire. If there is no drama, she will make some drama. Already a mess, man. She got tadpoles breeding in her mouth. Naruto headband. Unfortunate Nookie's boyfriend wears a Naruto headband constantly to school. Literally, Naruto ran around the school sometimes. Trained wushu and had shoulder-length brown hair. A weeby Chad, if you will. I won't. Failed 9th grade because he skipped so many classes to support Unfortunate Nookie and all of her woes. After dumping Unfortunate Nookie on Valentine's Day, Naruto headband becomes my abusive boyfriend. But that's mostly another story for r/narcissistic abuse. We will be focusing on the before times for the prologue. Another one of these partner swip-swapping high school stories that I gotta take with a grain of salt because I'm an old fucking man. Baldy was Unfortunate Nookie's ex-boyfriend. He constantly hangs around Unfortunate Nookie and Naruto headband. He's barely 18 but already balding due to a genetic predisposition. Seems extremely sad and lonely. Plays in the chess club. I never personally spoke to him, so all I know about him is what I saw or what I was told of him by Unfortunate Nookie and Naruto headband. He had rich parents and overall sounded shady as fuck. First love was Unfortunate Nookie's first love. He was a depressed, quiet guy working part-time in a comic book store. They had sex when Unfortunate Nookie was only 14. Ooh, God. Yeah. Because she insisted. First love has always regretted this, but he still did it. Oh, I hate it already. Mimic, friend of mine whom I shared a first name with, had a huge crush on Naruto headband. Becomes relevant later. Greenie, that's our OP. Won't do much in this part. Freshman in junior high at the time, exuding happy and rainbows out of my butthole to hide being anxious and depressed because reasons. Bro, I feel so called out right there. God damn it. You see me, OP? Because I see you. A quiet, grade A student who had bleeding heart syndrome and, oh, everyone's nice enough if you just love them kind of mentality, which led me to make all the wrong kinds of friends, such as Unfortunate Nookie and Naruto headband. Alright, so now that we know the players, let's travel back to the 2000s and the cringe that was high school. Oh cool, OP's my age. That's nice. I hope you're dunking on your past self in this story, OP, so I don't have to. Makes my job easy. Anyways, I think our high school had some hundreds of students because it was a junior high and high school combined. So there were a lot of different kinds of kids. Most of us were just background mass, but there is always, for better or for worse, a few select individuals who stand out of the crowd. Again, for better or for worse. The trio of Unfortunate Nookie, Naruto headband, and Baldy was one that stood out. From the first years of junior high school all the way to high school sophomores, everybody knew about the trio. How could you not with how they conducted themselves? I think my first encounter with them, personally, was when I was entering the art room for the first time. Out of the art room walks Naruto headband, wearing his iconic Naruto headband. I thought he looked cool, being a fresh weeb myself, and I was gonna brave asking him where his headband was from. I knew of anime, but not specifically of Naruto, wee sapling that I was in the void which was Animu. Only I never got the chance to do so, because speed stomping from the art classroom comes Unfortunate Nookie, furious as all hell. Honestly, in that moment, the first time I saw her, she terrified me. As soon as she was within arm's reach of Naruto headband, she swung her metallic Sailor Moon pencil case as hard as she could on Naruto headband's head and screamed, "You did not wait for me!" I think murder flashed in Naruto headband's eyes, but he stifled it down into a kind of numb passiveness, a skill that high school boys are pretty great at. Like, had this happened many times before and he just kind of knew there was no point in resisting, I think he was going to apologize, when from behind Unfortunate Nookie, out of the art room came Baldy, looking like a whipped puppy. He was carrying a pile of papers, sketches that Unfortunate Nookie had left behind to run after Naruto Headband. Murder crept back into Naruto Headband's eyes, and he said something along the lines of,
"Didn't think you need me, seeing as you have him to keep you company."
Ah, boy, here we go with the love triangle. This woman is not worth being jealous over already, I assure you. Unfortunate Nookie whirled around, confused, and saw Baldy. Naruto Headband took this as his chance to run away. I hope it was a Naruto run. Unfortunate Nookie turned back to scold Naruto Headband some more, but he had already turned a corner and disappeared. She didn't even use words. She just screeched like some sort of fucked up bird. Yes, indeed, even legbeards emit an ear-piercing ree. At some point, little scared and confused me had started leaning on the wall and trying my hardest to just become the wall, as to not get pulled into whatever the hell was happening in front of me. Unfortunate Nookie took off after Naruto Headband, cursing and screaming for him to come back, and Baldy silently trudged after the both of them. What the fuck? I thought to myself as I slowly unglued from the wall and went into the now rather peaceful art room. I figured this was just a one-off. Maybe these guys had an argument, or she, had an exceptionally bad day or something. Oh, how wrong I was. What everyone saw. The trio was more or less always together. For the longest time, I genuinely didn't know that Naruto Headband was Unfortunate Nookie's boyfriend. And I was unsure if it was Baldy that was actually dating her. Baldy once even brought roses to her in school. Naruto Headband would then walk away from them. Unfortunate Nookie would dash after him with the roses still in hand. Unfortunate Nookie would be walking through the halls, looking some level of upset, and have these two boys trailing after her. At times, Naruto Headband screaming at Baldy to fuck off. Baldy would usually stop for a moment and start to follow again after Naruto Headband wasn't looking. Baldy would seemingly gift Unfortunate Nookie with other items, each present pissing off Naruto Headband more and more, and the running would once again ensue. If Naruto Headband didn't chase after Unfortunate Nookie, she would turn around to berate him loudly. So stupid. This is like such a high school moment, isn't it? I'm being dramatic! Why aren't you participating? Like, bitch, just go watch One Tree Hill, for God's sake. It's 2000s, isn't it? Most times, Unfortunate Nookie would be somewhere in the halls, drawing, and me and a friend of mine would just try to sneak a peek, because it felt like it was just her and the two of us drawing manga all the time. We never dared to approach her because she looked mean, with the eternal scowl on her face. Resting bitch face. Plus, you know, we and everyone else saw the Daily Crazy. We wanted to see the art, but we didn't care for the drama that came with it. Yeah, it's definitely not worth the risk to even try and see it. Just tell yourself it's probably shit and stay far away. So, as most everyone in the school, we lurked. Sometimes she'd dramatically rip her art apart and scream, "It was shit!" and run away crying. Always with Baldy or Naruto Headband, or both, in tail. Sometimes she'd pounce on Naruto Headband and rip his hair or hit him with the metallic pencil case. Fucking pencil case. It is abuse. It's not okay. But the fact that it was a pencil case as her weapon of choice is sort of hilarious. On and on they went, circling around and out of the school and back into the school for the bemusement of the entire school. I wish I had popcorn, and Yakety Sax was playing in the back of my mind. This running love triangle of entertainment lasted for roughly a year. What I learned later on from people who knew them and Unfortunate Nookie and Naruto Headband themselves. As Unfortunate Nookie told it, Baldy had raped her. Jesus. Whether that's true or not, I gotta cringe at one or the other. Ugh. Which led to their breakup. However, Baldy would buy her things, and Unfortunate Nookie seemingly just couldn't feel joy and safety without someone getting her things. It was a whole thing where, in her mind, presents equaled love. That's her love language, I guess, and drama. So despite claiming to be traumatized and abused by Baldy, she vehemently refused to let go of her wallet and weeb item supplier. I believe the infamous metallic Sailor Moon pencil case was also supplied by Baldy. She even managed to force Baldy and Naruto Headband to watch a movie with her that Baldy paid for all three of them. God, such a weird situation. Though Unfortunate Nookie was 16 and Baldy 18 at the time, they had discussed together forever and both wanted children. However, besides the rape, it's not funny. What also apparently drove Unfortunate Nookie away from Baldy was his admittance and fear that if they were to have children, he couldn't promise not to touch them sexually. Oh! God damn, dude! Shit just shifted into 5th gear. What the fuck? Oh, I hate him. Ugh. Did I forget to mention that? Because, oh yeah, Baldy was apparently into child porn, and his next girlfriend after Unfortunate Nookie confirmed being really concerned about that to Naruto Headband, who was a mutual friend. I have not kept track of Baldy at all, since I didn't have any connection to him personally, and I've got no idea if he ever acted on his desires. I pray that he didn't. Jesus Christ, man. Please just let him be dead somewhere. That would be so much easier for everyone. Unfortunate Nookie was a chore, and a mess, and extremely manipulative. Unfortunate Nookie took Naruto Headband's virginity, and they apparently had sex in school often, and always without protection, as per Unfortunate Nookie's demands. God. When Naruto Headband told me about this later, I avoided some of their spots like they were tainted. Because they were. Unfortunate Nookie was a classical psycho girlfriend in the sense that she would almost never leave Naruto Headband alone. And if she did, she would bombard him the entire time with texts. If he didn't respond immediately, then she'd call and be pissed as hell about Naruto Headband not replying to her. Unfortunate Nookie would ask Naruto Headband to skip classes with her more often than not. If he tried to get her to stay or ask if he could stay because he really needed to attend a class, she would make a scene by screaming, hitting him, and crying, and he would cave in just to have some goddamn peace. Sounds like a little fucking monster. Was the booty really that good that you're gonna put up with all this shit? I guess in high school, it's like your first time. You're like, oh, this is gonna be forever. Yeah, sure. So I'm starting to develop some sympathy for this quite literally brow-beaten boyfriend. She was smart enough to make it through junior high without studying. He was not, and ended up being held back a year. That's partly why I met him, but more on that mistake of a lifetime a little bit later. Unfortunate Nookie would practically live with Naruto Headband and his family, walking into their house unannounced and staying for days at a time. No thanks. Their relationship was just a clusterfuck of arguing, violence from Unfortunate Nookie towards Naruto Headband, Naruto Headband or his mom buying Unfortunate Nookie things to keep her sated, and of course, sex to keep her another kind of sated. If Naruto Headband told Unfortunate Nookie no, or please not right now, for any reason at all, she would hurt herself in various ways, such as hitting her head on the walls, choking herself, or simply threatening to off herself if he didn't stay with her to do whatever she had in mind. Later, when I became her friend, I got more of the same. I mean, yeah, it was stupid and insane, but more on that later. The fact that she doesn't want to be at her own house kind of points to some sort of abuse. Also with the self-harm and the way that she treats her partner, like, there's definitely something hinky going on. Most people don't just turn out like this for no reason. Although it is possible, I guess. During this year, Unfortunate Nookie became extremely petty and paranoid towards Naruto Headband one weekend when he was checking out a judo club. He wanted to move on from wushu to another martial art and was considering judo. She kept insisting that Naruto Headband was out there cheating on her. No matter how much Naruto Headband denied this. She called him on the phone over and over just to tell him
how much of a piece of shit he was. A lying, cheating bastard, and he should kill himself.
Until something switched. Seemingly for no reason, she suddenly accepted Naruto Headband's 20th iteration of,
"No, honey, I'm not cheating on you. I'm here for martial arts only."
Unfortunate Nookie.
"So, you'd never cheat on me?"
Naruto Headband.
"Of course not, babe. I'd never do that to you. I love you."
Unfortunate Nookie.
"I've cheated on you!"
And she hung up on him again. Jesus Christ. What a train wreck. Part of me loves it and part of me absolutely hates it. Why do I do this to myself? Turns out, Unfortunate Nookie had visited her first love, and they had sex. Some weeks later, it turned out that she was pregnant, and Naruto Headband is certain that it was first love's because of the timing, although Unfortunate Nookie claims that it was Naruto Headband's. In either case, in fear of wrath from her mother and people around her pushing for it, she got an abortion. I'm not sure if First Love ever found out about this. I don't recall. She had him around to get her things as well. Confirmed this through Unfortunate Nookie, Naruto Headband, and First Love himself, since we all worked in the same comic book store for a short while and made friends. Anywho, it's getting a bit late, and this is a bit janky and long. It did sort of fall apart near the end there, didn't it? So I'll start wrapping up this wild year and prologue in the story. Unfortunate Nookie graduated and moved on to a vocational school, not having the grades for high school. Naruto Headband was held back a year and enjoyed his time away from Unfortunate Nookie and made friends with his new classmates. The fall season in school went relatively peaceful without Unfortunate Nookie. Imagine that. Unfortunate Nookie would still occasionally skip classes at her new school and come pull Naruto Headband out of classes, but it happened less often due to distance. Naruto Headband started hanging out with younger people and hung out with my friend Mimic and her friends, even though they were all a class below him. Mimic developed a huge crush on Naruto Headband, and I heard all about him through her. I didn't approach him personally, and just kinda cheered Mimic on from the sidelines. After Christmas break though, something traumatic happened to me, and I was looking to be distracted from it and make some new friends, so I started talking to Naruto Headband, among many other people. He told me how terrible Unfortunate Nookie was towards him. The abuse, the violence, the threats of self-harm and suicide whenever she didn't get her way. I grew to hate her, and encouraged him to not put up with what was clearly bullshit behavior. Yeah, maybe he is the nice guy just along for the ride. I don't know if I should have given him the neckbeard voice. We'll see about it in the next episode. The prologue ends where the story begins. I step into the frame, to my utter amazement and to the great displeasure of both Unfortunate Nookie and Mimic as Naruto Headband's new love interest. All implodes on Valentine's Day when I left the school because I couldn't handle my personal issues, completely oblivious that on this very day, Naruto Headband had broken up with Unfortunate Nookie and sent me a little love note confessing his feelings to me all in one day. Efficient, this boy, if nothing else. Yep, just kept OP on the back burner till he's ready to leap. It's okay to be single too, you know? I ain't gonna lie, this story is FUBAR. And I was a dumb bitch to allow myself to get pulled into this. Again, I don't know if this is the place for this story, but I'd like to thank anyone who read through it. If this is an okay place to dump this, and I've got y'all feeling morbidly curious, I'll gladly regale you with what led up to the great Valentine's Day disaster and the insanity that followed after for years. Remember, laughter is the music of the soul. If you can laugh at it, then you can get over it. Oh, love that. Also, aim to shower daily. It's good for you. Greenie out. Well, I am definitely highly interested to see how far this thing can devolve. I'm still not quite sure how to feel about Naruto headbands. Even Unfortunate Nookie might be a sympathetic character at the end of it if we go into like her family and home life, because I think something really is going on there. Baldy is far too late for redemption. He is going against the wall. Can't have people like that running around in society. No fucking way. But yeah, I do like the cringe that is offered in this story. Reminds me of them good old high school days, you know. I never banged anybody in the bathroom at high school, but I did get my dick sucked by a fat girl while I was dating another girl, which, like I said, it's all about infidelity and bad lunch or something. High school's just a fucking mess, dude. I hate to read about it, but again, there's some part of me that just finds joy in it. So I hope you guys find joy in it as well. I hope you will head on over to r/RedXReads. Encourage the OP to write some more, because the Legbeard series, yummy yum, delicious stuff. Please don't forget to like, comment, and or subscribe on the video if you did enjoy it. That is massively appreciated. Maybe also share it around. Ooh, it's the first part of a series. You could get people in on the ground floor. Yeah. If that doesn't sell it, then nothing probably will. I hope you'll check out the links as well in the description. All kinds of stuff going on there. Playlists and plugs and social medias. Twitter, Discord, Facebook. You know how it do. Oh, and I've also got my gorgeous, wonderful, beautiful, generous patrons from Patreon to thank, as I do every video. So thank you very much. Calvicus, Fatboy Shrimp, Robert Waits, TSM Kirby, Aaron W, Twisted Child, Delicious Jelly Donut, Candy Sora, Fire Drake, Livison, Mr. Anime Manga Fan, Silent Revolver, Zero MX, Magdalene Marshall, Thorn Rose, Little Lone Wolf, Vanilla Mel, Ralph Stower, Satori, Babsy-kun, Caustic Fox, Disposable Waifu, Aaron Lennox, Fisher Diggy, Hadrian BR, Heathcliff, OG James Cook, a pimp named Jay Crisp, JM Kun, Jerry, John Hero, Miss Monday, Lord Lion-O, Jackets Rule, Melgar the Destroyer, Mirthful Baker, Mr. J, my boy Nat One Nick, Lady Nix, Origami Steve, Katykins, Elizabeth, Sidestep, Cider Drinker, Serrated Ass, Siegfried, Synaptic Boomstick, Brilliant Tamago, Tato Ferret, Teddy the Police, Ton Ton Monster, That Duck and Bug, The One True Fusky, Treeberg, Wilmax, Redwind, Goose S. Honk, Leon Embers, Nagaviper, John Endors, A Normal Joe, Amara, A-Roxers, Cake Jerry, that's a different Jerry! Cinnamon Bunny Dog, KJW, Kachow, Crafty Kitty Cat, Little Ann Woods, Mark 211, Maybe Next Time, Milkfed Gimp, Miss Duchess, Origami Cam, Princess Rosalie, Ghosty, Raptor Art, Ellie, The Last Shinobi, and the Necrobomicon. Thank you guys so much for helping me out, putting your money where your mouth is. Definitely appreciate it more than words can say. I hope some other people will consider joining up on the Patreon, but if you can't do it right now, friends, don't sweat it too hard. I just appreciate you coming on through, hanging out with me, and I hope that you'll come on back and hang out with me again tomorrow. In order to do so, you need to keep yourself safe out there. Wash your hands, but also take some time out and do something that you personally enjoy today. Maybe watching some more Red X videos? Maybe? Always remember, friends, that you are loved, you are worthy, and you definitely deserve it. I shall see you in the next one. And until then, bye-bye.